If you meet a high quality man, you're beginning your relationship with him, you're starting to build attraction and connection, how do you show him that you are indeed interested without being overly aggressive or coming on too strong and ultimately scaring him away? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can show a man that you like him, that you're into him, without scaring him off, without being too aggressive or too much, doing it in a very appropriate, attractive way. Hi, I'm Jason Silver. I am the dating coach for ambitious women. In this channel, I break down attraction and relationship strategies to attract a high-quality man into a lifelong committed relationship. I get asked all the time, Jason, what's a high-quality man? What does that mean to you? Does that just mean that he's wealthy? And my answer is absolutely not. A high-quality man can be different for every person, but basically someone who has the highest chance of providing you with deep fulfillment for a lifelong committed relationship. That's the bottom line. So let's jump right into it. You finally met someone. There's that connection. It's growing. There's flirtation. But neither of you have really jumped in and fully invested with one another that you are dating or committed. Or maybe there's even a question, does he really like me? And I want to talk about how you can show him that you like him without jumping the gun, without being overly aggressive, without being overbearing, with allowing him to lead the relationship while still fulfilling your part and letting him know that there is interest. So I just want to break down three things. Number one, I want to share why showing interest in a man can push him away and scare him away. And then I want to share with you when is the right time to tell a man that you like him. When is the right time to be vulnerable and to admit that there's interest? And finally, how do you do it? How do you do it in a way that is natural and authentic and confident and ultimately builds attraction rather than pushes a man away? Now, typically, the only way to scare a man away is if you're so overly aggressive in the beginning where you're basically chasing him. And maybe he uses that as a sign that there might be desperation. You're desperate for him. The sense of neediness, that you are dependent on the outcome. You are dependent on him liking you. If that's the case, where you just feel like you have to tell him that you like him and you have to get that answer back, that's based on fear and that's based on dependence that he likes you for you to feel okay and validated. And that's extremely unattractive. The second way that this can scare a man off is if he's gently leading the relationship and all of a sudden you just kind of jump the gun and let him know that you like him. And it doesn't have that same flirtatious pull. In the beginning of a relationship, flirtation is really a way of sharing more information about each other, sharing the potential for attraction without fully going in, just holding back a little bit. And that's part of nature. We love that. That's attraction, that tension, that sexual tension, that back and forth. And if you take that away completely, it takes a bit of the romance, a bit of the fun out of the initial connection. So when is the best time to share that you're into someone? Well, I think there's different phases of that. In the first phase, when there's the initial flirtation and you're getting to know one another, I think there's opportunities to show them that you are interested without coming out and saying, I really, really like you and I want to be in a relationship with you and I'd like to get married and have your children. Right? You don't need to go that quick. What you can do is you can let them know that you're interested by showing indicators of attraction. And these indicators of attraction, these IOAs, basically let them know that, yes, there's a little attraction there. An indicator of attraction could be something as simple as maintaining eye contact with someone, right? If someone's not interested at all, they're probably not going to sit there and maintain eye contact. Their eyes might be wandering over here, looking past them to see if there's someone else they can talk to. Maybe they're rocking back and forth, getting ready to walk away. There's not a center body language focus. So that's another thing, your body language. Are you pointed directly at the person when you're talking to them? And also, there's physical touch. When you're having a conversation, if they say something funny, if you reach out to them and grab their arm or their shoulder, break that touch barrier. That's another way of letting them know that you feel comfortable with them and that you are slightly attracted. Another is compliments, verbal affirmations, letting them know things that you are impressed by or that you like. Men can be very dense. We might not know if you like us or not. In your mind, you're like, what do you mean? I was being totally obvious. I kept smiling at him and making eye contact. It's a very different age in today's society, and men are being much more careful on approaching and sexually escalating, the more that you can use indicators of attraction as a green light to let a man know you are doing the right things. I am interested in you, by showing him that you are focused on him, that you are smiling, that you are breaking the touch boundary and complimenting him, are all great ways in the initial phase that you can let him know that you're interested. Now, as the relationship progresses, you can add an element of seduction. One of the ways to do that is when you're making eye contact, to actually imagine kissing him. So if you maybe drop your eye down to his lips, right? You see that little eye movement where you're dropping down to his lips and imagining that you're kissing him, it gives a different energy. Or when you are touching him on his arm or his shoulder, you leave your hand there just a slight second longer than you might otherwise. And ultimately, letting him know in some of your verbal affirmations, things that might be a little bit higher on the compliment scale. Addressing maybe his physical looks if the conversation is appropriate and on that topic, and mentioning that he's attractive in certain ways without just coming out of the blue and saying it, or talking more about his attractive qualities. And at the end of the day, the final phase is maybe he's just not pulling the trigger. Maybe you're just going back and forth, you're like stuck in this friend zone, and you really like this guy. At the end of the day, I encourage you to be polarizing by complimenting him to a point where you actually tell him that you are attracted to him. And you can say it in any number of ways. It depends on you and your personality. You can say, I think you're a great guy. We should go on a date sometime. You can ask a guy out. Now, here is the principle that makes all of this work well. It's that you are not needy and dependent on the outcome. You are someone of value who has a great life and tons of confidence, and you should almost act as if there's dozens of men that are pursuing you and that you just happen to like him. But if he's not into you, that's fine. You've got lots of other options. If you come with that energy, there's no neediness. You're just letting him know because you're confident. You've got a lot of choices, and he seems to be a really great choice. If you let him know that with no need, with no fear, you have a much better chance of building attraction rather than if you're approaching him with, this is the only guy that I like. And if this doesn't work out, I'm done with dating. The amount of pressure, the amount of neediness, it comes off as a very, very unattractive, almost fearful energy rather than a confident, abundant energy. So I promise you, if you go through those phases where you're initially showing the indicators of attraction, where you're increasing your level of verbal compliments, and ultimately, if you're willing to ask a guy out without need, without overdependence, that is the ultimate way that you can show a man that you like him without pushing him away. And finally, at the end of the day, if by sharing with a man that you like him scares this guy away, is he really the right fit for you? Honestly, I encourage you to be polarizing and confident in yourself. He should be so lucky that you are into him and that you like him. And please, if you found any part of this video helpful, I really encourage you, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber and join me every single week where I break down relationship and attraction strategies. Please do click the link in the description beneath this video and get instant access to a free training where I go much deeper into these principles, into these strategies, so you can attract a high quality man in your life. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Be well.